Welcome to the YouTube channel of yours truly, Robert Alvarez, the Psychic Witch. And right now the date is Friday, February 1st, 2019. The time is approximately 8:58 p.m. I would like to acknowledge, well, first of all, in some magical traditions, today is Imbolc. Imbolc is Gaelic Irish. It means in the belly, as in the belly of Mother Earth. And in many magical traditions, this is the cross-quarter holy day that honors and venerates Brigid, the Irish goddess of divine healing, divine inspiration, and divine prosperity. In my magical tradition and how I was taught is that Imbolc is actually February 2nd, which is tomorrow. But I know for a lot of people, today is Imbolc. Although for me, it's more Imbolc Eve. But for those of you that are celebrating today, a blessed Imbolc. And this cross-quarter holy day symbolizes the return of warmth. It is the cross-quarter holy day, or the witch's holy day, that precedes the vernal equinox, which is the first day of spring. It's interesting to note that in my area, the temperature today has been in the 20s and the highs. Tomorrow's temperature is going to be in the 30s. Sundays is going to be in the 40s. Mondays is going to be in the 50s. No lie. If it actually happens, I'm like, well, talk about the return of warmth. Anyway, I would like to acknowledge my newest YouTube channel subscribers. They are Marge Richer. As somebody who leads prosperity classes, how can I not love somebody whose last name is Richer? I'm like, richer in consciousness, richer in prosperity, richer in expansion, richer in wisdom. And Gypsy Lee Ravenswood, I love that username. So the purpose of this video is to give you some additional information about my very third, as opposed to my very first or very second goddess course. This goddess course is entitled Goddess Everlasting, and I am very, very happy about it. I'm very excited about it. I know that I have shared this both online and off, but primarily online, that it feels really good to experience joy and passion, not only for leading classes, courses, and events, but also in preparing to lead them. So I'm really happy about that. I'm actually trying to discreetly turn off my fan because I was a little warm a little while ago. I'm going to have a sip of some water. So in the description box, I will include the link to the first video about Goddess Everlasting, which is included in the accompanying blog post for that video, and this video will have an accompanying blog post as well. So all of the information will be found there, the links, etc., etc., etc. But what I want to say first with regards to Goddess Everlasting is that as of right now, as of Friday, February 1st, 2019, there are two officially registered subscribers. Now, for me professionally and personally, my minimum acceptable required number of participants for all of my events is 5. I've had 5 for a while now, and I was not divinely guided a few years ago to increase that. I feel that 5 is an extremely realistic and reasonable number of participants to have in any of my classes, courses, and events. And now that going forward, all of my classes, courses, and events are a combination of a group in-person class as well as a live online streaming event, then it's even more reasonable and realistic to have a minimum of 5 participants. So what I want to say is that with regards to participating in Goddess Everlasting, right now there are 3 people who are participating in 3 different ways. So one of the participants lives in the Bronx, holla, which is one of the boroughs of New York City, and she is going to be participating in each class in person. The classes are going to be held at Ripley Greer Studios, which is, well, they have 5 locations, or 4 or 5. I forgot if they have 4 or 5 at this point. But their main location, which I refer to as their flagship location, is number 520 8th Avenue between West 36th and West 37th Streets, which is in the Midtown section of Manhattan, which is another borough of New York City. So one of the participants who lives in the Bronx, she's participating in person. Then I have another participant who lives in Utah at the present time, and she's going to be participating as a live online streaming participant. And then I have another person who lives in California, and she's going to be participating after the fact, meaning once the videos for all the classes have been archived, she's going to watch the video the following day, participate that way, and that works perfectly for her schedule. So basically, if you either live and or work or are visiting the New York City area, you can participate in person. If you live in another state or another country, you can participate if you have, as a live online streaming participant, if you have a stable internet connection. And if you do not necessarily have a stable internet connection, and or it simply doesn't work for your schedule to participate as a live online streaming participant, then you would just watch the video after the fact. So I find it interesting that I have, pardon me, that I have 3 different kinds of participants already across the board. So yeah, so it's definitely intriguing to me, and I love the variety. So I'm replenishing my fluids. This is like one of my readings. I do so much talking. Now at this point, all the dates for Goddess Everlasting have been scheduled. All of them are going to be held on Wednesday evenings from 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Pardon me. So the first class, which was scheduled, this was scheduled, I think, back in October or November of last year, is March 20th, 2019. And then April 24th, 2019, and then May 29th, 2019, June 26th, 2019, and the 5th and final class of this course is Wednesday, July 17th, 2019, 7 to 10 p.m. Eastern Time. Generally speaking, if you live in a different state in the United States of America, or if you live in a different country, you are usually better off looking up the time, the clock time. I guess I could say the clock time for New York City, because where I live in New Jersey is approximately 10 minutes away from the Midtown Manhattan section of New York City, or rather of Manhattan in New York City. So usually, if you look up New York City on a world time zone clock, that will give you an idea as to the time difference between where I am and where you are in the world, and that will help you determine if you're going to be able to watch the videos or participate in Goddess Everlasting as either a live online streaming participant or as somebody who watches the videos after the fact. Now, in the first video for this course and in the accompanying blog post, I list the registration fees, but I cannot overemphasize the importance of ordering your own copy of The Goddess Oracle, created by Amy Sofia Marashinsky and illustrated by Harana Janto. I'm going to ask my awesome audiovisual person to do a close-up. This is the box. This is the front of the box. And, okay, this is the back of the box. Now, this is a relatively new version of the box. This is how it opens up. You will notice that the book is on top, the cards are on the bottom. I already have a set. This set I'm using just for the class, which is why I'm keeping it like this until the class, or the classes begin. And if you know, I cannot overemphasize this, if you know that you are going to participate in this course, if you know that you're going to participate in Goddess Everlasting, and if you know that you would receive divine blessings from participating in Goddess Everlasting, then the first thing I recommend you do right away is order your own copy of the Goddess Oracle. It's created by Amy Sofia Marashinsky, illustrated by Harana Janto. I specify this in all my communications and in all my videos and in all my blog posts because, believe it or not, there are 3 goddess-themed oracle card decks entitled Oracle of the Goddess. And there's one entitled the Goddess, there are 3 goddess-themed oracle card decks entitled the Goddess Oracle and 2 entitled Oracle of the Goddess. I'm not kidding. I have all of them. I know this for a fact. So make no mistake, I specify the Goddess Oracle created by Amy Sofia Marashinsky, illustrated by Harana Janto, because this is one of 3 goddess-themed oracle card decks entitled the Goddess Oracle. So I don't mean to sound like a broken record, but because of that, and because there are 2 goddess-themed oracle card decks entitled Oracle of the Goddess, and again, created and illustrated by different people, I'm specifying that this one is the Goddess Oracle created by Amy Sofia Marashinsky, illustrated by Harana Janto. What I am doing differently this time around is I am letting participants know that if they want me to order a set on their behalf, they can include that as part of their registration. I never offered it before because I figured people would want to order their own sets on their own. Ironically, so far, the 2 registered participants have opted to order their own sets. One already received hers, and the other one should be receiving hers this month. I forgot if she already ordered it or if she has yet to order it, but I believe she should be receiving it this month regardless. Also, men are encouraged to register. And there is the possibility of at least 1 male participant, possibly 2 or 3. So this is not a woman's only course, obviously. Anyway, and again, you certainly are more than welcome to ask any questions about this course. My intention is that the videos and the accompanying blog post have every bit of information that anybody could possibly need to have or need to know about this course. But if there's anything that I happen not to cover and I may have forgotten to cover, by all means you can ask about it. The one thing that I am going to say is that my intention and my desire actually is to commune with each goddess individually and ask her what she wants to impart to each of the participants via what I call a sacred play assignment, or a SPA for short. When I teach classes, I don't give homework. I don't give play shop work. I give sacred play assignments, or SPAs for short. I don't remember how the phrase first came to me, but I remembered contemplating the phrase sacred play assignment, and what came into my consciousness immediately was, wow, how much more different my school life would have been if my teachers had given me sacred play assignments. I mean, think about it. If you're in school right now, or if you recently graduated from school, or thinking back to when you were in grammar school, or high school, or college, or graduate school, think about if your teacher or your professors had said, okay, are you ready for your sacred play assignments? how much more exciting, how much more fulfilling, how much more wondrous and how much more like, ooh, like really, when you think about it, homework. I mean, the energy just dumps down. But sacred play assignment, a sacred play assignment, a spa. Ooh, I know, right? Okay, so as always, YouTube, thank you so much for honoring who I am and what I do. If you have not already subscribed to my YouTube channel, I invite you to do so, especially now that I have a 500 subscriber giveaway in progress. And make sure that you click or tap the bell icon. That way you will receive a notification every single time I upload a video. And there are more videos on the way, believe me. Also, if you have not yet scheduled your sacred session with me, whether it is an intuitive card reading, an energy healing treatment, or a private metaphysical class, I highly recommend you do so sooner than later. And certainly, over the next few months, my availability is going to decrease. Right now, I have a lot of availability in both February and March of 2019, but after I return to Notions and Potions in less than 2 weeks, or rather really next weekend, my availability for those months will have decreased considerably. So my recommendation is sooner than later is always the best way to go. And of course, one thing I have learned, one of many things I've learned from Cheryl, who is the living goddess who owns Notions and Potions, is that the goddess provides. So trust the goddess, or however you call her, to provide you with everything you need to avail yourselves of my psychic services, especially if you're being divinely guided to avail yourself of them. Because your angels and your goddesses are not going to steer you wrong. If they're telling you, yeah, have a reading with Robert, use this psychic service with Robert, have this energy healing treatment with Robert, then hey, go for it. But for now, I wish all of you a blessed Imbolc, a wondrous weekend, many blessings of radiance, prosperity, and peace, and a lovely evening. And good night.